Hi Selah, so this is your new sewing machine for Christmas, a little bit late. It's a real sewing machine and I want to show you all the stuff about it. This is an older sewing machine, but it's been all tuned up and made ready by a sewing machine shop. So it'll be a good sewing machine for you to learn on, and then after you get to where you know what you're doing, we'll get you a better sewing machine. But this one is actually one that was made by a dressmaker, so it should be a good sewing machine. So let me show you. This is the case, and it's got a hook on each end. And then it lifts right off, and there's the sewing machine. Now I'm going to go through and show you lots of parts right now, so I'm going to get closer to the sewing machine. Alright, so you can look at this video anytime you want to. Alright, so this is called a presser foot. It looks like a foot, and there's a handle in the back that raises and lowers the presser foot. Okay? Now, the needle is right here, and it's very sharp, and when it moves, it goes up and down. When it moves, when it's turned on, you want to make sure you don't let your fingers get in there, because it'll poke in your finger and it'll make you bleed. It'll hurt bad. Now, this is for tension. Now, you don't need to worry about that very much. Never turn it. Just leave it right where it is, okay? If the tension is not working right, you'll be able to tell because the threads won't look the same on the top and the bottom like they do here. But right now, it's perfect, so don't mess with it, okay? This is, see the big R? It doesn't stand for Selah, that stands for reverse. And when you need to make the thread go backwards instead of forwards, you just push that button in, okay? So that's the reverse button, okay? Now this, it says stitch length right there. And if you turn it, see it says 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's a couple points in between 0 and 1. Right now it's at 5, which is the longest. If I turn it over here to 0, it means the thread needle is going to go up and down, but the fabric will not move. It'll just go up and down in the same spot. This up here goes from 0 to 5 too. This is how long the stitch is. This is how wide the stitch is, okay? So this goes widest to narrowest, okay? Watch the needle. Widest, the needle moves over. Narrowest, the needle's right smack in the middle. And what happens is, when it's on the widest, now watch the needle, when it goes around, it goes from one side and it goes over to the other side. Okay, on the back side of your machine, there are two places. They have these little felt pads underneath that will spin for thread to go. Little black piece off. All right. So you put your spool of thread on one of those two spots. Doesn't matter which one, okay? And then there's this little spot. It goes right into that little spot right there. And then there's a little spot here, and it's got a, let me turn this around. It's got a little curly cue here. So you're going to bring it around the curly cue. Before you can thread your machine, you've got to have your bobbin threaded. So we're going to put it through there, and instead of putting through the curly cue, you put it around that little piece there, and then you put the thread through one of the holes in the bobbin from the inside to the outside, okay? Inside to the outside, okay? And then hold your thread right across. All right, so hold it right across there and then push it down right on there. That locks that thread in place so it can't come loose. See, it's stuck. Now, the bobbin moves over, see? Bobbin moves over there, okay? And, okay, you turn that little dial. There, that's what you do. Okay, there's a little wheel on the inside of your wheel. You turn it. The needle's not going now. The bobbin's filling up. See, it goes up, down, up, down, up, down. And if you're doing a big project, fill it all the way up. But I'm not. Push it back that way. Turn the inside wheel and lock it in there. Now we're going to cut that little thread off, okay? Cut that little thread off. Okay, Selah, I want to show you how to load your bobbin. Okay, you got the thread on the bobbin now. You're going to hold it so that the thread's coming towards your hand, all right? And then you're going to hold your bobbin so this little knob's up to the top, and you're going to drop it in there. Now, there's a little metal piece here. The thread goes through that little niche right there, and then you gotta pull it around that little metal thing, and you have to pull it, whoops, went too far, until it's right in the middle. All right, come on, thread. There, see, it's right in the middle. So now, see, it pulls really easy. So now it's ready to go into the machine. There's the bobbin hole. So we take the bobbin by the little handle. The thread's on top, and we go down in that hole and we stick it goes right onto that little shaft. You can see it's locked in place, doesn't move, okay? All right, so you put your spool of thread on one of those two spots, doesn't matter which one, okay? And then there's this little spot, it goes right into that little spot right there. And then there's a little spot here, and it's got a, let me turn this around, it's got a little curly cue here. So you're going to bring it around the curly cue, okay? Let me show you that again. You just go around and around, and it goes right through that curly cue, okay? Then you bring it around around this thing, okay? So there's this little spot right here. Not sure whether I got to turn. It's a little spot right there. Your thread goes right in front of that, and then it comes around, and there's a little loop thing right here. It's going to go right up against that loop, okay? See? It goes right there. And then you're going to bring your thread up. You might have to turn this to bring it up, all right? See? That little thing comes up, and you thread it right through there, all right? Now you come back down, and there's a little hook right here. It goes through just by putting it right against it, okay? Let me do that again. So it just goes right against it, pops in, okay? There's another one just like that. Pops in, okay? No, it didn't pop. There, pops inside it, see? Okay, and then there's another little curly cue. Let me see if we can see it well enough. I'm going to adjust the camera just a second. Okay, so we brought it through that little spot, and now we'll sit down. There's another little curly cue right here, so you got to go around that little curly cue. And Now it's through that little curly Q. And now there's the eye on the needle. So you have to put your thread through the needle. And it always helps, the thread is nice and sharp. So I'm going to grab my scissors. And I'm a low peanut. And I'm going to clip the end to make sure it's nice and sharp. And you can wet it like that. And then goes right through the little eye of the needle. Okay, so then it comes into the inside of your machine. Mine goes from the front to the back, but yours goes sideways, okay? Now, we got a thread up at the top and a thread at the bottom. So I'm going to come way over, move this and show you. Way over, out of focus, focus. See the wheel here? Right there, the wheel. We're going to turn that wheel. Opa just got home. Hi, Opa. Say hi to Selah.
Hello, Selah.
All right, so now, let me get this in focus again. I'm going to turn that wheel I showed you. I'm going to hold on to this thread. It goes down. It pulls that bottom thread right back up. See? There it comes out. You just have to keep turning the wheel until it comes out. Now I got both threads up here. Okay? Now I'm going to put that presser plate on. So I'm going to hook this on one side and then turn it until I can get it down there to hook on the other side, okay? Hook, 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 and hook, and wiggle around there. It popped in place. See, now it's nice and smooth, and I just slide it in, and I'm ready to sew. Okay, so now I'm ready to sew. I'm going to put my stitch length on right between 2 and 3, okay? Now, can you see this? Yeah. When I put this on 1, the R is only a little way out. When I put it on 5, it comes way out, okay? So, actually, if I put it all the way on 0, it doesn't work at all, okay? So, I'm going to put it between 2 and 3. That's the stitch length I want. And I want it to be a straight stitch. I don't want it to go back and forth. So I'm going to put it on 0, okay? And then this says LMR for left, middle, right. I want it right in the middle, okay? So now, this is my scrap fabric. I'm going to put the, oh, you know what? I got to put, here's your foot that you're going to use to make it go, all right? I've already plugged it in, so now I got to put the foot on the floor so I can push it. And I always make sure my fingers don't go up there. They have to stay back. So I keep one on this side and I keep one in the front so I can control my fabric, okay? Okay, this is the wheel that I said you turn it that way to make it loose to use the bobbin without the needle going. Turn it back that way to tighten it up, okay? As this turns, you can see your motor is in here, and this is the belt that turns the wheel in the sewing machine, okay? Newer sewing machines, it's all closed up, but on this sewing machine, it's still out, okay? All right. So don't mess with that belt. Don't let anybody touch that belt, okay? Now, it's very important that only you or your mommy use the sewing machine. Don't let Hannah or Noah or Jonah or anybody mess with anything on your sewing machine, okay? You need to make sure it's protected from that. Now, this little storage pocket has a bag with some sewing machine needles. There's 2 more sewing machine needles in there, all right? But as long as you're careful, the one you've got should last a long time. And it's got 4 more bobbins. One has black thread, navy blue thread, light blue thread, and yellow thread. And then the one that's in there right now has lilac thread on it. All right. So you'll store those in the little bag and your needles in the little bag, okay? And then it fits down in here. And then you can unplug your machine from the wall and wind your cord up. I'm not sure I'm even in the picture here. Am I in the picture? Just barely. Wind the cord up. And it fits down in there. And then wind the cord around your foot. And it fits in there. And then put your case like that going. The hook goes up around there. Push it down. Hook goes up around there and back down. And it's all locked up. Now, it's an all metal sewing machine, so it's really heavy. So you'll probably have to have mommy or daddy help you move it. All right, and now we can start doing some fun things. Okay, Selah, one of the first things I want you to do for learning to sew with a sewing machine is I'm going to have you take a ruler and I'm going to have you make a line on your fabric that is, see, there's an inch, there's a ½ inch, it's 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8. So we're going to draw a line that is 5/8 inch. I'm going to put a mark there, come down here, and I put a mark there. Alright, now I line my ruler up 5/8 inch and 5/8 inch. I'm going to hold it down. Oops. And there, I've got that line. Now I'm going to turn. And I'm going to draw a line that's 5/8 inch on this side. Okay? So 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8. And down here, 5/8. And now I draw this line. And then we turn, and then we do the same thing over here. I want you to put a line inside that's at 2 inches. And 2 inches. Two inches. 2 inches. 2 inches. 2 inches. 2 inches and 2 inches. All right, so now connect all those marks. All right. Now you're going to ask, what's this got to do with sewing? This is so you can practice sewing straight lines. Because to make your clothes look really professional, or anything you're making, whether it's clothes or a purse or a pillowcase or a drawstring bag or whatever you might be making, you want your lines to be crisp and straight. And then, after we've practiced making straight lines, we're going to practice making a circle, okay? So, you're going to put this in your machine, and you're going to make the needle go right where this line is, and you're going to sew right on that line. Now I need to look at your machine and see if it has measurements on it. If it doesn't, then when I'm at your house, I'll show you how to put measurements on it.